Katrina Kaif finally after a long spell.
Thank you. You said that so seriously.
Obviously, I think he's.
Let me tell you something. Not a good thing to say, but let me tell you a true thing. The safest thing to say about someone. Because actually, what are you saying? Hardworking means what? We're all hard work. Oh my God, she's so brilliant, or you know, what energy, or what talent. Those are special words. We should call up Ritik and we should ask him, where are those words? Hardworking means hardworking. Though everyone is hardworking, no?
Right. In the manner that you've learned the language, any of your recent films is flowing very, very smoothly.
Yeah, so it's okay. But I still maintain the fact his compliments are very okay. They're very okay. If I had to give someone a compliment, we'll do that later. So later on you ask me and then I'll show you really nice compliments. To again say for me, some new ones.
You with Abhay Deol. I don't know if you remember. For Zindagi Milegi to Dobaira. So you had that.
Yeah, I would have had a
issue
problem. I would have had an issue. I know what Ritik's talking about when he says that, because his funda of working is really about putting in and trying to create. It's not just kind of sitting back and letting the director create an ambience or create an atmosphere and you kind of, you follow. But I think it is really about, okay, what can I add here? How can I make this better? And I guess also he's done a lot of physical films, a lot of action films. Your strength, your look, your physique. So that's really in your own hands. So I guess you have to put in that more extra work.
Two beautiful people coming together.
I think Meherban is one of my favorite love songs for sure. I think it's Ahmed Khan had done the picturization. I really love the way Ahmed picturizes his romantic song. I did with him was in Ajab, which was Santoshi's film, of course. Tera hone laga. So that was that romantic song with Ranbir. And even at that time, it was there was a certain. It's not fancy. It's not trying to wow you with shot taking and content and what's going on behind. He knows how to work on the two actors trying to show two people in love, which I think is really important. Otherwise, I think everything is too staged in a romantic song. And I think Ahmed is amazing at doing that. His songs are not staged. Of course, they look beautiful, they look glamorous, and you have the styling and everything like that. But he really tries to create new moments. So even if it's just a touch, or even if it's just the way you hold someone, or just the way they have their arms around you. Ahmed is very careful that he's just running into each other's arms and posing. He tries to make sure that you're creating those moments, which then the audience in turn kind of, that translates into what people call, as you're saying, that chemistry. It's something which is...
You've been delivering constant hit.
We're stuck on that word, aren't we? You can never pick one thing, because if we knew the formula for success, we'd all follow it and we'd all get it right every time. So I don't think that you can pick one thing, or I wouldn't know what the one thing is. Of course, there's many reasons why a film works. I feel that that's correct. I'm looking for, yes, of course, what I can do, and I'm looking for what I think will challenge me and a tuning with the director. But the first thing I'm looking for is a film that I would want to see as an audience. When we all live in a world where we don't have much time, would I want to go and see this film? Or if the answer is like, I don't know, maybe, or I'll catch it on DVD, then I know that this is not the film for me to do. So I think that desire is kind of what leads me to probably being able to choose films which are audience friendly. And I remember I've also done films where I have been questioned, like people were like, why would you do that? But my heart was in it and I thought it was going to be fun and I did it. That would be mean to say, but no. that was a different thing. But I remember when I did Rajniti, people were like, oh, that's a very unusual choice at that moment. When I did Mere Brother Ki Dulhan, people also thought, okay, that's unusual at that moment. It was in the phase I was in, like there were some questions asked, but all of them are very important as long as the line is not crossed where you actually feel the need to defend yourself. And for me, that's very rarely. I think it's happened once or twice. I would say maybe twice in my whole said a question in such a nasty way that it provoked me and I actually walked off the stage. Right. I mean, there's no need to provoke people. You're doing your job, I'm doing my job, and I think I've always been very respectful of what the media adds to me, and I think the media have in turn for the most part been respectful of that, and we've had a good equation. Relationship is about respecting each other and respecting what the other person does. And my viewpoint is, if you don't like me for some reason, let's pretend okay you don't like me, or if you aren't of a nice opinion about me, then just stay away from me. You know, and if I don't like you, let's pretend me and you don't get along, then I'll say, okay guys, you know, let's avoid this, or let's ask somebody else to come, or you know, I'd prefer to do an interview with so and so. So I think as long as you're respectful and kind of each other, I don't come from the school of thought that I think being nasty or being unkind is ever necessary just to create journalism or to create you know, a newsworthy story. I think there are other ways to do it. Yeah? That's good. I'm going to tell someone that, because I keep hearing that I don't have a good sense of humor. I think I'm very funny. I am funny, no? Yeah, I'm gonna go home and tell someone that. With the personal life aspect, if you see from the time of cinema and the time people became famous actors and the time that, you know, we were watching films on screen, and I think till the end of time, and an actor's real life, you know, off screen will always be, it will always go hand in hand. There will always be speculation. If you're taking that personally, then that's foolish. If you're trying to maintain a certain, you know, boundary, I think that's perfectly fine. And I think for the most part, as I said, the media do respect that. There aren't many people that really pry and, you know, start digging. It's a nice, decent balance, I think, which I have, and I think one should maintain. It's important that your work is in the focus, you know, because if it's not, then what are you doing? Then I feel you're just more of a. It should be there for your own dignity and for what you're trying to create. Otherwise, if the balance goes, you know, off, and it's more just about the things you're doing off screen. What am I doing wrong? Because you're an actor, and what you're doing in your films, and especially when you're doing films which, you know, are so larger than life, or you know, there is something to talk about, then you would need to, then I would sit and I would look and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because your work should be spoken about. I do agree with that thought also, but like I said, as long as there's a balance. If 3 articles are about your work or mention your work, see, a photographer I don't think is going to come behind you taking pictures for the love of you. I love them and they love me, but I don't think they're following me because they love me. They're doing that because it's their job and they get paid for it. So I also try to give them that respect. They're earning a living that way. You're not going to give a picture. Maybe you've come from the gym, or maybe you're, you know, not in the right frame of mind. No, that's okay. Without makeup, those fine. Many times I've rolled down my window and clicked a picture for them. But there are some moments where maybe you just, as long as you can try, you know, because they also it is their living, and it's. Okay, I presume they're taking the pictures to sell them, or that's their job. So you should respect that also. Absolutely. I feel that anyone kind of would have done it. To be very honest, I feel that now that you've seen the film, you know that, you know, he's this you know, special agent, and he's supposed to be like that. I'm a girl working in a bank in Shimla, so obviously I can't come and start having these, you know, as magical. Wow. Unless you count what I did in Dhoom 3 as action, which I do. For me, I think that falls into the category of physical strength, and so if we're talking about hard work in terms of action type, you know, training your body, then for me, I would say the hardest was Dhoom 3 for sure.
The box office in the 100 crore, that I would do as a passion.
I don't really have an opinion, to be honest. I think my philosophy is, as long as each actress, whoever they may be, is happy, and as long as they're doing the films they want to do and they're happy with their choices, then that's all that matters. I mean, I'll do it, you know, if it excites me, and I feel that something that excites me would be also a film that I would want to see. So logically, the two go hand in hand. It was personally satisfying me, and I feel it will be something an audience would want to see, as I said. So as long as you're just doing what you feel from your heart, be happy in your work, be inspired in your work. Don't be too fearful also. You know, don't be like, okay, this film doesn't have the technical trappings of a big commercial film. Don't get stuck in that for sure. I mean, because that formula also has not. So you never know what formula is going to work. Just try and stick with what you feel. Yeah, it's an instinct that I maybe don't have the right words to describe, but it's an instinct which I've tried to follow. Okay, that technically has your, you know, if you can call your big, larger than life commercial film kind of factors going for it. The film I'm working on now is a film with Anurag Basu. Made such a beautiful film in Barfi.
Right.
And that's a completely different type of film. I mean, there are certain elements which you usually see from me in the films, you know, in some of my last films, which will not be there at all. And his world, which Basu creates, is completely different. So it's not to say that I'm following the same formula. No, when I heard Dada's script and when he called me, I can't say I'm more excited about Fitoor than I am about Dada's film, because I think Dada is, Anurag Basu is one of the finest directors we have in this country, and I'm extremely excited. I've only shot so far about 17 days with him, or 16 days, so the main work is yet to come. But I'm extremely excited about trying to create something with him than from anything I've done. With Fitoor, what really attracted me to that film was I just think it is an incredibly beautiful love story. And the kind of love story which I've been wanting to do, which is a little dramatic, a little sad, a little passionate, but not your happy-go-lucky. Well, it depends whose life. In some people's lives, you know, love is very dramatic and traumatic, and some people it's chilled out. So I just liked it. It was traditional in the sense of the kind of sweeping love stories which I wanted to be a part of. And so on that, I went purely on the basis of reading a script and saying, okay, no, I love this film. And it's not a long film. I think we're going to be done with it in 3 months. It's a one scheduled film. You know, I've never spoken about films or things that didn't work out, and many things that I've done have worked out. Some have not worked out, because I think whatever I didn't do for the correct reasons. That process was, or my reasons for that still stand the same. I think they're still correct.
Okay, and now
he knows more about it than me. I should sit with you after and get the look, because you know, you probably know more than me. Dada is really like this kind of person. The truth is, very honest answers, I don't know. For now, that's it.
Fantastic. Finally, last question.
I think just pretty much the principle, like I said, that, you know, I think we all want to make films for full cinema halls. Hrithik has done a spectacular job in the action. I think Sid has done a great job with the execution of such a huge film. And my favorite part of the film, or what I loved about it when I read the script, was the kind of not chemistry, but the relationship between Hrithik's character and my character. So I mean, you know, for the most part, we're actually fighting with each other, and I really liked that. Yeah, that whole mehfooz part, and that even when we're at that, I thought it was kind of new. I loved the way that his character was a kind of, you know, cool, suave guy who spoke so rudely to me. And you should also tell him, I shall tell him, and then hopefully, if there's something good and very inspirational and a very passionate person. And you know, the one thing, of all the actors I've worked with and all the amazingly talented actors who I've worked with in my career, the one thing you see about all the super successful people is the same, is their passion. You know, their passion for every shot.
Not too many actresses can boast of that.
I think that is the one thing. Something I was watching on TV yesterday. I think when a movie came, will be that every shot, even if it's a 1 second shot, if it's a close-up, wide shot, 1 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. If for them it's life or death. That shot is life or death. There's no.
You're
thank
back
you very
on
much.
Borderama after a long time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Jaga Jasu as well.